Hi, I'm Kiran Trace. Today is part 2 of understanding that sense of being stuck. Whether that's stuck in your spiritual search, stuck in emotional blocks, toxic habits, toxic relationships, or maybe stuck with spiritual integration. Let's have a look at the truth of stuck. Hi, I'm Kiran Trace. Welcome to Humans Decoded, a story of hobbits, fairies, elves, dwarfs, gnomes, and humans. If you get lost at any point, there is a deep dive on all the different avatars in episode 1. It includes notes. Thank you for joining us in a fun little chat about the vast potential of our human makeup. Hi, Cami. Hi, Leela.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to continue where we left off last week and get into examples. Yay!
I have a very visceral example of this. The first time I ever called Kiran, I was headed to a wedding, which I was completely pressurized and I just felt like I was being crushed under the pressure of it. It was such a shit show. And I mean, ultimately, what I was doing was my very known pattern, which was to people please. So I couldn't find what I wanted for the life of me. So I would just look around and be like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? You want me to get married? Okay.
Yeah,
And
maybe worth mentioning the wedding you were headed to was yours. Your own.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I was engaged. Exactly. This wedding, my own, that I was headed towards. I mean, yeah. And I just couldn't figure out if it's what I wanted or not. It was just an exercise in people pleasing all around. And yeah, I remember getting on the phone to Kiran for the very, very first time. And she was like, look, you've carved out this pathway to people pleasing and it's so rehearsed. It's so practiced. It's like the autobahn highway. So if you were to even think about going in a different direction, you're just so rehearsed. Like so magnetized towards this one like autobahn, like whew. And so she was saying it's going to take some time and practice to build new pathways because there's tons of them, but these roads are overgrown. They're like little country roads. Yeah, full of bushes. So you kind of need a machete to chop through. So anyway, a month later I got married. Because that autobahn highway was like the only thing I knew at the time.
And did you feel stuck?
Yeah, completely. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's very different now, but yeah, very stuck back then.
And I think that's exactly the challenge here, isn't it? This like the autobahn, it feels so safe. It's like it's so well built. It's this wide, comfortable road. We've been on it 100 million times. We know, the service areas. We know the rest stops. Here are the toilets. Here are the snacks. Blah blah blah. And to leave this to go and dig up or rediscover these other options, like get your machete and chop through the bush, like I don't know, it feels like like such a risk. But if you only have the autobahn available, like that's your only path through, then what if the avalanche comes down and blocks the road? You're fucked. There's no way out. But if there's other options, if you have other little roads, country roads, or maybe they built themselves out into kind of okay roads, then you're much more resilient. And even in the face of trauma, if trauma would be the avalanche in this picture, you have ways through.
I think, sure, if your goal is resistance, sure.
Resilience.
Sure. If your goal is resilience, sure. And yes, you can build these neural pathways for resilience. Resilience is great. It's a nice thing. Pliability. But I'd say there's a bigger goal, and I would invite people to play for fulfillment. Fulfillment will make you organically resilient.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is that the Autobahn is actually less likely alive. It's less supportive. It's less miraculous. It's less spontaneous than fulfillment. It's your habit. It's your habitual pathway. And you're right. In the face of trauma, it'll block it. You know, you'll be blocked for sure. The Autobahn, though, was your Autobahn, your habit, your habitual pattern was originally a little dirt road that at one time was a solution. And you kept driving it therein for the next 40 years. And then you say to me, Kiran, this is the thing that keeps happening to me, this cycle, this pattern, again and again and again and again. Recently, I was working with a client of mine, and they needed a new living arrangement. And we both saw the current scenario was less than ideal. However, when I invited them to dream a much more fulfilling living arrangement that only included a delightful fulfillment for them, only them moving, they got blocked. They live on a small island. The rents are very high because of hurricanes in the area. The houses are cement. The houses are ugly to my client, for the most part, ugly to everybody, really. And this is what I would hear, like, you know, Kiran, this is the reality of my island, you know, like it's impossible, Kiran, to find a place, especially a beautiful place. Like in my mind's eye, I want this, you know, beautiful, sweet place of my own. And I'm going to have to move off island. Again, these habitual responses. But okay, what if I could wave a magic wand? I say this a lot. let me just wave a magic wand and I can get you what you would want. So what's ideal? What is it? And honestly, it took a lot of prodding and I would say a few days to get past their story of reality. What's possible for me? And guess what? You know, 2 months later, they live in a very gorgeous place. It has wood beams and ocean views. It's huge with an extra 2 bedrooms than they need. And it's delicious. It's even their favorite color, the whole building. It's 2 minutes to their favorite beach. And it is a very, very affordable price range. And you know what? It didn't exist until they dreamed it. From awareness. And, you know, I agree. It didn't exist. You know, like on a search, this island, a tourist paradise, it's very expensive. But reality is a mirror, and awareness and fulfillment opens pathways. And the next moment is always here. It's always here. And this isn't a mental stance. This isn't a mental exercise. And it wasn't the mental choice, right? My client was in a mental stance and we had to uproot that. This felt like an enormous risk. And it's funny, sometimes these tiny little things that seem obvious feel like this huge risk because you're stepping off the Autobahn. But now they live in this beautiful, you know, perfectly forest green house with these ocean views at this incredibly affordable rate. And, you know, I have hundreds of examples from clients exactly like this. Heck, I have hundreds of examples from this one client of what this surrendered yet aware, you know, awareness towards opportunity could look like. I mean, both of you have hundreds of examples of the elasticity of life to mirror your fulfilling outcome.
Definitely. Like one of the examples is my cat just jumped on my lap. So one of the examples is an example from my life with cats. Millions. For years, I was convinced that whenever I am gone, they need a babysitter to live with them so that they will be well taken care of, because they depend on a human to do the things exactly as I would do them. Otherwise, they would not be safe. And that was just a story that I was telling. It was coming from my belief system of I am not safe, projected onto them. And it has apparently no ground in reality. Like, I'm seeing this with one of my cats, Lotti, for instance. It's like a fulfilling day for her is where she can be outside as she pleases. She can come and go, and she can visit all the houses in our village. She can go and visit all the neighbors. She can get the treats and the pets and the, I don't know. Sometimes she steals food from them.
Yes, the sausage links she brought home one day from the butcher.
Literally. And she is so happy in that freedom. She loves it. And then she comes and she wants some cuddles from me, some food from me, sure. But she is not, like, the story of her depending so much on me is hilarious. She does not. She's so happy to just roam freely. So care for my cats, and especially for Lotti when I'm gone, is so much simpler, and it's so much more fulfilling for both Lotti and me, and I guess also the neighbors in my village. Like, everybody wins. So until I could dream it for myself or in myself, it didn't mirror that way. Like, first I had to look at all my not safe belief and sort of open that pathway, or it had to open itself, because I stopped hitting that dead end that was, it wasn't safe for my cats when I went away, and I didn't have a 24/7 live-in babysitter, blah blah blah, like all the agenda of not safe. And you know, it's so fulfilling to witness how fulfilling this life is for Lotti. It mirrors back to me, and it might sound like an insignificant little thing. It's like, what's this got to do with reality and God? But it's been years to look at my own stuff, to look at my own wiring, to land here. And yeah, the fulfillment keeps fulfilling, keeps giving.
Let that fulfillment fulfill. I can think of a similar trajectory I had, and it's been such an arc. I mean, I used to feel so much terror at work. All I could hear was, "I'm a fraud," in neon letters, and "I don't belong." I used to land the shittiest gigs with the shittiest people. I would actually get bullied on set. The catering was crap. Like, it was dire. But over time, as the karma started burning off, it just opened up a new pathway, or sort of more pathways slowly started opening up. And I remember the very first time that I noticed like this new sensation, and I was like, oh, there's joy. It's like the first time I'm actually feeling joy on set. And I barely recognized myself because I was so used to just being fully terrified all the time. I was like, hold on a minute. I'm at work and I'm actually having a good day. Like, I'm not being throttled by Don't Belong the entire time. And then as the joy grew, work became just more and more playful, more and more fulfilling, and more everything. So also financially rewarding. And nowadays I'm at a place where it's quite fun to dream my dream gigs. Like, who's going to be on set? What kind of equipment am I going to have? What kind of locations are we going to be in? So it's just become so much more playful and elastic. And not in a million years did I think I'd end up here. Back then, I thought I would just have to like burn my career and start over. because I could have never imagined myself finding fulfillment like inside of where I was.
Yeah. You know, that stuck place. And I love the examples you're bringing up. And people have huge, you know, stuck feeling like they can never get pregnant, or they can stuck feeling like they can never find love, or you can get stuck feeling like you're never going to access divine presence, or you're never going to be able to meditate. And in truth, this is an emotional or mental loop. And you're not going to solve it through different emotions or different mind states. It's not reality. And reality, honestly, it's likely putting the next step under you, because it's already always this moment and the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. But we're blinded to the opportunity life will put under you, because all you're seeing is your mental story or emotional story, which is to really say the mental story is being created by the emotional backlog and these control patterns or whatever patterns they are. So reality, I mean, honestly, just look around. The thing you've been chasing is probably right here.
And we're talking to you, like you don't have to be special. Like, you're the one with infinite potential. You can change.
And isn't it such a medicine, such a balm, so soothing to hear? The next step, the stepping stone, it's already being put there by life for you. You don't have to go do it. You don't have to effort. You don't have to change. You don't have to produce that. Like, life is so infinitely generous. Like, I cannot. It's life doing it all along. And it's such grace. It's mind-blowing.
And kind of what Kemi is saying, like, it's these days when she's not so pinned in by this not belonging and not belonging's various control techniques to achieve belonging, when this isn't eclipsing the show. It's actually right there. You know, my client's beautiful new home. I mean, it was right there. Like, you know, we have so many examples, like Lottie and her entire neighborhood of friends. the caregivers for your cat were right there, you know, like it's right there for you. But it's great to have the reminder.
Oh, yeah.
And just a reminder that if you need some mentorship in this, if you need a master mentor like myself with a really tailored map for you, that's available starting in September. We open the embodiment class and you can have some one-on-one time for me. It's a little pricey because I tend to work with leaders. But you can also get that mentorship from Leela, who has so much to offer in terms of helping clear away the backlog and making it so much louder for you to hear the potential that's up underfoot. So mentorship for this level of clarity is right here under your feet also.
Oh, I love that.
And speaking of opportunities up underfoot, if anybody's in London in July, swing by the National Gallery, and Cammie's beautiful portrait of Mikhail is going to be featured at the National fucking Gallery of London, people.
Yeah,
again,
July all the way till October.
And this was an opportunity that just came up that was hard to imagine a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago. It was an impossible dream, but there it is. Deep fulfillment. And that's a beautiful portrait show. If you're in London, catch it in July. Okay.
We love you. Talk to you next week.
Totally. We can sit here and talk to you about ultimate fulfillment and beautiful opportunities all day long. But we'll be here next week talking about money. Thank you for listening. We obviously love hearing what you think. Your feedback helps us make a better show for you to listen to. So feel free to comment, and you can do it at Facebook, which is the Humans Decoded podcast. And if you're not on social, you can always email any questions to us at outreach@kirantrace.com. And thanks for listening. We love you.